The truth every man must know, and every woman needs to know about him. Let David G. Evans help you dare to be a man.
A trifling man, you can just be present, and whatever you do is okay. Good man pushing you to become, just by the way he is.
Bishop T.D. Jake says, up close and personal, I wholeheartedly recommend this to men and women.
A next dimension man adapts to his environment and then changes it.
Giving women hope and men clarity. Martha Munizzi added, this teaching shows women how to motivate the men they love to soar.
A male ought to represent promise to everybody in his family.
Hailed by Stedman Graham as remarkable. David G. Evans' book, Dare to be a Man, or the 3-message series on CD or DVD. Visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 now.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live at 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah!
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up-to-the-minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to OnPointe, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. That's at David G. Evans, the #1. So won't you please share right now with those that follow you, those friends of yours around the world. Like us, subscribe to us, hit that notification button so you don't miss one moment of these great conversations that we have from week to week. We discuss faith, we discuss events, we discuss religion, we discuss politics, sports, any significant news events that impacts your life, but always from a biblical kingdom perspective. So if you like that kind of conversation, we ask you to join us each Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We are the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in the United States of America. Joining me once again is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing all right. Let's see if we can get some people on the phone for here. 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. One of the things I was thinking about on the way in, Pastor Nick, I think about 8:40, I want to ask the question or give, I think, well, ladies before gentlemen, I want to give the ladies a chance to ask us, why do men do X?
Okay.
Just why do they do X?
Right.
But we need them prepared for the answers, though, right?
Of course.
So about 8:35, ladies and gentlemen, because we want the brothers to be in on this too. Why do men do X? From a woman's point of view, I question women. Why do men do X? And we're going to try to answer, but you got to be ready for the answer. You have to be ready for a balanced answer. You have to be ready for an answer that is not a double standard answer.
Yeah.
So if we can get those things out of the way, I think we can have a good conversation.
Yep.
I want to see how this goes for a couple weeks. Talking about launching that blog.
Yeah.
I love you, but I don't understand you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll see whether there's still some heat for this kind of conversation.
Sure.
Because I think the two generations that we have, I'm 70 and you're what?
40.
You're 40.
Yeah.
So we got a 30-year gap in there. And I'm suspecting that the perceptions in those two brackets of age,
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting there's some great similarities.
Sure.
But I'm expecting there's some great differences
Sure.
in those. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere out here now is remarkably different than it was when I was out there. There are some commonalities,
Yeah.
but it's different
It's
now.
exacerbated, yeah.
It's exacerbated.
Yeah, it's different. I honestly, I would not want to grow up as a kid in this generation.
I agree with
I
you
wouldn't.
100. I agree with you 100%.
They have challenges that we had challenges.
Yeah.
You had challenges, but
Yeah.
their challenges are a little more.
Well, we didn't have to worry. We didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
somebody coming to school and shooting up the place,
Yeah.
especially a student.
Yes, exactly.
We didn't have to have counselors for drive-bys and drug overdoses of fellow students.
Yeah.
There wasn't it was just a different. We were allowed to be more kiddie
Yes, exactly.
for longer
Yeah.
than I think this generation is.
Yeah.
I'm teaching my grandkids stuff that I think is too heavy for them, but I can't have them uninformed at this
Right.
point in their life.
Exactly. Yeah. They're growing. The information is going to be presented to them whether you like it or not at a young age.
Yeah, so the context is forcing us to teach them things that perhaps we thought they could wait for.
Yeah. You gotta tell them.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. My son's 9, and when I was 9 years old, we were outside playing all day long.
Absolutely.
Mom had no clue where we were.
And no concern.
No concern. Not at all. Now, I could not send him outside all
Oh,
day
no.
by himself to.
You might be outside all day, but you got to be
I
out
gotta
there
be
with
there
them.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it
no,
by
you
yourself
can't.
and-
No, there's no more of that.
No.
There used to be, they had a little crowd. They'd hang
Yeah.
together all day
All
long.
of us be together all
There
day.
was some security in that. but
Yeah. Not now.
Not now. It's totally it's different, and I think what we've done is raise, and this is going to sound really, and I'm sure people are going to comment on this. It appears as though we have raised a generation or two that want the responsibility of children,
Yes.
but are less parental than ever.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally agree. It's like they
Okay.
want. It's like having kids is to make up something in me,
Yeah. Or prestige.
or prestige, or something like that, rather than this is a responsibility, a life that I actually have to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And I think that's why the unraveling happens, because the idea is what people are in love with,
yes,
but the responsibility is nonstop.
yeah,
And I think a lot of times when you're in love with the idea of a thing, the responsibility that goes along with it is never ending.
yep,
And that can cause your view or your vision of how beautiful the idea was to change radically.
absolutely, totally true. And I know some parents who I don't want my kids to experience what I did growing up. And I understand some parts we don't want
Some
our kids
parts
to
of that.
experience. Yeah, but then when you get older, you recognize some of the things you resented as a kid was necessary for
Absolutely.
you know, for your development, your maturity.
Look, something as simple as chores.
Yeah,
Clean up your room.
yes,
Don't think you can walk through the house and drop stuff on the floor and just leave it there.
right, right,
Those things build work ethic in you.
yep,
It really lets you understand about fairness in the world. You're going to work, you're going to get paid.
yep,
So there's some things there, and then showing you how to care for your environment.
yes, yes,
But there's so many slobs now, that it's amazing.
yeah, it is.
We all know families that live like pigs. We all know families that live like pigs.
yeah, yeah, be true. It's just true.
We did.
Right.
One of my best friends growing up, their house was always a mess.
Yes, yes. But you're right. It's true. It's trying to. I want them to live and be kids, but live and be kids doesn't mean let them do whatever they want to do.
Right,
Have fun all day.
right.
I was thinking I had to learn how to. I was cooking breakfast. I'm not talking about cereal.
You're talking about breakfast.
I'm talking about breakfast.
You're talking about eggs and bacon.
Eggs and bacon. When I was like in 5th or 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah, they were teaching us how to do it.
You had to put a stool up next to the
Well, it was kind of soft.
Yeah,
My grandfather was like, I'm going to show you how to do it.
Absolutely.
And then he would sit there with us while we cooked it.
Absolutely. Wouldn't leave you in the kitchen.
Wouldn't leave
by
in the kitchen by
yourself.
himself. He would sit there.
No, this generation
Yeah.
tells you go down there and cook, tells a 5-year-old go down there and cook the breakfast,
Right.
and they're nowhere around, and then they're shocked when they come back with grease burns on their
Right,
face.
right.
It's just crazy.
But we had a different, his
Nah.
thing was, you guys got to grow up. You're going to be grown.
I
soon.
knew how to feed chickens
Right.
as a boy.
Yeah.
My great grandmother had chickens.
Yeah.
And he went down there for the summer,
You had to learn how to do it.
and not just feed them.
Yes.
Boy, come in. Let me show you how to clean that coop out.
Yep.
This is a part of the responsibility.
Yes.
She had chickens, she had dogs, she had ducks.
Yeah. Same thing. Chickens, goats.
Mhm.
Put your hand out there
That's right.
and let them eat off you.
Yep.
They're not gonna hurt you.
Right.
But looking back,
It makes you who you are, man.
yeah,
It
out there
make-
working in the garden,
Makes you who you are.
you ain't got no back. Well, my back hurts.
No,
Just-
yeah, that's a half-hour lecture right there. Back? What back? Back?
You ain't got no back.
Come on, man.
I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning picking cotton.
That back lecture was consistent around the world.
Right.
30 minutes. You say your back hurts and you're not 60 years old.
Right. You ain't got no back.
You ready for the back lecture?
Right. Yep.
Oh, my goodness. So,
Anyway, sorry.
866-743-8267. 866-743-8267. Give us a call. So we're going to talk for like 35 minutes, and then around 35 minutes to 40 minutes of ladies, you can ask any question, why do men do X? And me and Pastor Nick will do the best to answer it from a generational context, biblical context, and experiential context, which ought to be very interesting. So, I watch a film of a young man who's on his face on the ground, gets shot in the head. I cannot describe the reaction that I had. I had to walk away from the television. Then I walked back because I wanted to make sure I had just witnessed what I had seen. I wanted to make sure I heard the conversation that I heard. I just don't get it.
Did you see the whole videos leading up to it?
No.
they're going to have a hard time with this one.
Okay.
Not saying he should have been shot. I'm not saying it at all.
Yeah.
So the cop pulls him over.
Right.
He gets out the car.
Right.
Cop asks him, go back inside your car.
Okay.
The guy's from the Congo.
Okay.
He's asking, do you speak English? He said yes. Cop asks for his license.
Okay.
The guy starts to move away. They're in this tuggle of a wrestling match.
How'd they get in the wrestling match?
Because the guy was trying to leave and the cop was trying to grab him to come back.
Okay.
So they were in this little tussle for a while, from the street to somebody's front lawn. The cop pulls his taser out.
Okay.
Tries to shoot him twice with a taser.
Okay.
The guy grabs the taser.
Okay.
The cop keeps telling him, stop. I need you to stop. I need you to, you're under arrest. Just put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
You eventually get him to the ground.
Okay.
And somewhere around there, that's when the cop puts his knee on his neck and shoots him. I'm not saying he should have got shot, but all those events leading up
Why
to
did
that.
they shoot him in the head?
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Was that a little?
That was much. I'm just saying in the court of law, I'm not saying it's right. In the court of law, this is going to be a hard one to charge him.
Charge the police.
The policeman.
Okay.
Because of all of the tussle
Everything that happened, yeah.
ahead of it. But I'm not saying he should have shot
And
him in the head.
did he have him on the ground and he had the taser in his hand still on the ground while he was on his
They
face?
were wrestling when the guy was face to face with him.
When I saw it, he said, take your hand off the taser, take your hand off the taser, and it looked like his face, the guy was already on his face on
Well,
the
that
ground.
was the second time.
Okay.
The first time they were walking.
Where was his backup?
He was calling back up. They were telling him, people are on the way.
Why was I understand his cam was off suddenly.
So
There would be no tape if there was no person.
yeah. So
Okay.
Again, I don't know how much we can trust this,
Okay.
but the police are saying that in the tussle, one of them must have hit
Okay.
the camera
Okay.
and it went off.
Okay.
So that's why his camera went off. The police
Okay.
camera went off.
Okay.
But we wouldn't be able to see all that if the
The
cell
other person,
phone
yeah.
and the security system from the house
Oh, really?
got another shot.
Okay.
And before we came in, let me watch the whole thing.
Okay.
And it reminded me of the young girl who had the knife and the police officer came.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened. All I'm saying is it's going to be a little hard on this one.
Yeah. Conversely, how does the Buffalo police officer get cleared when he clearly shoved the man down on the ground and fractured his skull? I mean, it was clear.
Very clear.
And it was not a black man this time. It
Yeah.
was a white man that got shoved down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
How does he get cleared of that?
Yeah. That's the thing. There was no real reasoning of, their thing was, he was in the way of the cops.
Yeah, but he
Movement.
shoved him down the ground and he fractured his skull.
Right. The cops could have just walked around him. He's a 75-year-old man with a cane. What is he going to do?
I don't understand. Conversely, I'm watching the news this weekend, and they're talking about the chief of staff for President Trump, who was caught double registered in several states.
Okay.
And then they went down a litany of individuals who were guilty of voting for the deceased parents, for the deceased wives, all Republicans.
Yeah.
As coincidentally. And then this black woman files or puts in a provisional vote, which she's led to believe is appropriate.
Yeah.
And they give her 5 years in jail.
Yes. Because she was a felon, I think, right?
Yeah, she was ex-felon.
Mm-hmm.
And according to what she was told, she could vote when she got out.
Yeah.
5 years, and they give everybody else nothing or a fine, and maybe 30 days
Wow.
probation.
A black woman and who she voted for.
That's amazing to me.
It's trifling.
But she said something that was pretty clear to me. She said there's two different systems.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There's prison's a cash cow, so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the Texas governor decides he's going to cause a traffic jam. I need to know why why our elected officials keep getting away with these decisions that are generally harmful to the public.
Right. Right. Which means now food prices are going to go. The coach, I guess the kid was going to approach the child about the gun. and somehow the kid went to the backpack. The coach just grabbed the kid.
Why not?
Thank you. And I'm like, could y'all use common sense here? They said, well, the coach went too far. But what if the person went and started shooting everybody?
I would think that bringing the gun was too far.
Right. I know.
I don't understand people. But you know what? To show you how simple people can be and how silly they can be, I remember getting ready to take a flight years ago, and said he doesn't want to go. I said, what does that say to you? It never crossed their minds.
Yeah. You want to live after this flight? Like
people that are led by their emotions intoxicate their thinking.
Yeah.
Because that's irresponsible. The guy driving the thing doesn't want to fly.
Yeah.
And you're saying we should just go anyway.
Right. They just chance it.
At 30,000 feet?
Right. No.
I've seen some things traveling on these years that security things and people wanting to fly and people wanting for the whole plane to be inconvenienced because they want to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Yeah. Especially now with all the them arresting all these people on these flights and
You got to.
people acting up and
They're cutting the fool, and it's not mask. It's not mask.
No.
It's not just mask. It's people that really don't have much going on in their lives.
Yeah.
That taking a stand over a mask that benefits other people becomes an issue to argue about.
Yep. Yeah. It's a mask. It's not that big of a deal.
I don't get it.
Hey, the coach is in Georgia. It's in Fulton County, Georgia.
I would
black
think
coach.
I would think bringing a gun to school would be a big enough infraction.
Yes, I would think
I
so.
would think trying to prevent the kid from having any more access to the school than the kid has already attained or gained would be the right thing to do.
Yeah. You find out a kid, talking about the coach went overboard.
Overboard how?
Right, because he had an altercation with the kid. Like,
So watch this. So the kid comes to school and goes off. And in conversations and testimony, the coach says, well, I knew that he had the gun. Then the first question is, what did you do?
right, exactly.
Well, I'm not allowed to touch him.
Yeah.
Just killed 9 people. What do you mean you're not allowed to touch him?
You could have prevented some people. All the parents are like, what is wrong with y'all?
Like, look,
Just-
I told you parenting is different now.
yeah.
Parenting is different now. People criticize, I know some people have circumstances where they had to put their children at risk during COVID. I know, but
Yeah.